Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, friends and neighbors, Scott Hammond with 100% Humboldt with my very best new friend, the man, the myth, the legend, Hank Sims. Hi, Hank.
Hi, Scott. How are you?
I'm well, thank you. It's been magical weather for 3 weeks.
It's been very nice. Winter is always by the end of winter. You want it to be over,
right? It's too much.
You know we need it, but you don't have to like it.
Yeah, don't tell anybody the weather's been magic, and it just rains all the time in Humboldt. Please don't come here. It's it's supposed to rain again in about 10 days.
Okay, I'll set my watch.
My wife goes, "Oh, it's going to rain. It's got to rain." I go, "It doesn't have to rain. We could rain in March. I'm fine. I could live in this weather all year long." I talked to my cousin Doug in Iowa. It's 12 degrees this morning.
Yeah. Well, yeah, that's not good. Yeah.
I'd love to tell us what's your job and the Hank Sims story. First of all, what are your name, rank, serial number? What do you do? And then I'd love to hear where you were raised and how you got to Humboldt.
Sure. Well, my name's Hank Sims. I work for Lost Coast Communications. I'm the editor of the Lost Coast Outpost, which is a popular news site in Humboldt County.
Fondly known as Loco.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. I grew up in Willits, just to the south of here, where my mom still lives. And that's it. I got a wife and 2 sons.
Nice. What brought you to Humboldt County from Mendo?
Well, it was a place where I just ended up going to college. I actually dropped out of high school a year early because I was kind of sick of it, and then went to Mendocino College and then transferred to Humboldt State in 1986.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. And then have moved away in like young adulthood and back about 7 times. One time I went, I moved to the East Coast. I moved to Rhode Island for just like 6 months.
Sorry to hear that.
No, it was fun. It was great.
It cool?
I loved it. And then took off traveling a bunch of times, did some more stints in Willits, moved back to Humboldt, moved down to the Bay Area a couple of times, and then back and forth.
It's funny how many people cycle. They come back.
Yeah. It's a great place to live. No, that's the last time, we moved back here was 2002. And just me and my wife, this is where we want to raise our family, buy a house and stuff.
How many kids?
Yeah. I have 2 sons.
All right.
Yeah.
They grown?
One is a senior in high school right now. The other one is all grown. Yes.
All right. Dad jokes. Here they come.
Yeah.
We all have.
I have the license. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm a card carrying member, and don't worry about it. We may get a couple before we're done here.
Okay. Sounds great.
My favorite dad joke since you asked.
Yes.
Did you hear the one about the map maker, Hank, the cartographer, if you will, that couldn't get a job because he had no sense of humor?
Huma?
Yuma.
Yeah,
that's I know.
That might work better in Arizona.
It's a better Arizona joke.
Yeah.
I see like a minor smile peeking over at Nick going, yeah, he's going, whatever. So what did you study at Humboldt?
At Humboldt State, I studied a bunch of different things. I cycled through. I was a music major for a while. I was an engineering major for a while. I had split. I was still young and needed to do other things before I graduated. But I ended up getting my undergraduate degree from San Francisco State, actually, in Spanish language and liberal studies.
Mucho gusto.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, liberal studies, Humboldt State. 82.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Recreation administration.
Okay. That's great.
Kids go, majored in recess? What is that? Don't worry about it. You go get a degree and we'll talk.
Yeah. And then we moved back. And then I moved here. I got a degree in political science from Humboldt and then a degree in journalism from Berkeley.
Wow. Berkeley. Wow.
Yeah.
So you're a pretty well-educated dude.
I guess, yeah. I spent a lot of my young life doing that, hanging around universities for too long.
Cal, yeah.
Yeah.
What's the French restaurant that's downtown that's super famous?
That is Chez Panisse.
Yeah, delicious.
Yeah, it's good. Yeah. I ate there only once upstairs in the cafe where you don't need a reservation.
Yeah, we my son lived in Alameda. They since moved to Amsterdam with Nike. But they took us there and it was bomb.
Oh, yeah, it's great.
Pretty famous, I guess.
Yeah.
Where? Chez what? Lost Bagels? Chez Bagels. So you got into journalism with the Journal first?
Well, I was I'd written for lots of newspapers before, and I'd gone to journalism before, journalism school at Berkeley before I worked for the Journal. But yeah, I'd written for for a lot of like local newspapers, like where I'm from. I think I was telling Nick about this when I was talking to him a couple weeks ago. But where I'm from in Mendocino County, there's a really vibrant, and especially at the time, like a really vibrant alternative print culture, and that's what really sort of like hooked me on.
Not the Ukiah Daily Journal.
Not the Ukiah Daily Journal.
Not that.
But most papers that are dead and gone now. The Mendocino Memo, the Lookout, the Anderson Valley Advertiser.
Anderson Valley, I recall that.
Sure, yeah. That just stopped print publication, I think, last year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was owned by the Journal for a minute, right? Or did they buy it?
No, it was always owned by this guy Bruce Anderson.
Bruce, yeah,
of
New Bruce.
Boonville. Oh, you did?
We used to give Bruce ads he was come in once a week.
Oh.
He would scam all the ads out of the Tri-City.
Okay.
And go, I want PDFs of this, this, and this, and this. And we'd have a packet for Bruce. And he was always gracious. He was a nice man.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, no, he's
smart guy. He didn't have to build an ad. He'd just come get our dumb ads done.
There you go. Yeah, very courtly guy. I think he's in 90-some now and still still kind of doing it online.
So he's still alive?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was competitive because it was kind of the more organic Tri-City Weekly. Where I worked, because it was just a pickup paper, and its footprint was Mendocino to Crescent City. And so he could go and claim a lot of territory real quick. And say it wasn't home delivered. But
I think maybe you're thinking of something else. Like, is it was the paper you're thinking of? Was it like the Tri-City kind of like a classified ad kind of?
It was a little. And I thought his name was Bruce too. Maybe I got it wrong, Bruce. Yeah.
Anderson Valley Advertiser is sort of like a
regional,
screaming radical left-wing underground newspaper.
Okay, I'm confusing them. Yeah. I'm trying to think of this guy's paper's name. Doesn't matter. But
there was the Penny Pincher.
Yeah, it was something.
Yeah.
There was something like that. But this guy was more regional anyway. So a lot of little papers.
Yeah, that's why I started writing for newspapers. Okay. I always thought it was really fun.
Yeah, and
then like I was studying at one point, I was thinking about going on to get a PhD in like political science, but I decided that was a boring career path. I didn't want to do that, so I went back to journalism school.
My son's got a PhD in poli-sci from Davis.
Oh, that's good.
And he's working for a Deutsche Bank. He's got an office way up high, and he just phones it, and he doesn't care.
Oh no,
I'm tired of caring. He goes, "Just come in, and it's a job."
Yeah.
But he's happier that way. So whatever. Anyway, from there, passion for journalism led you up to here in the Journal.
My wife and I wanted to move back up to Humboldt, and I had the journalism degree. And I started off like just part time as a Journal, and eventually
met Judy and
full time.
Carolyn.
Yeah.
Where's Carolyn these days?
I have no idea.
She's still around?
I don't know.
I see Judy at the winery once in a while at Philbrook.
Oh, yeah.
Her and Bob.
Yeah.
She's delightful. I like Judy. Anyway, so you were there for how long?
8 or 9 years, I think.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Were you their main guy, their editor?
Well, I was, for a while. Yeah, for 3 or 4 of those years, I think. Yeah.
Who were some of your writers then?
We had classic great writers. Ryan Burns and Andrew Goff, who both work with me now at the Outpost.
Yeah.
Heidi Walters, Helen Sanderson, Japhet Weeks. We had great people come
Where's
through.
Heidi? Is she still around?
Heidi's around here. Yeah. She lives in town. They moved away. She and her husband moved to Reading for a while for his job, and then they moved back, and she's happy. My wife and Heidi are like in a writers group together. They get together every week or so and write short stories and stuff. Yeah.
Hey, speaking of which, I wrote a book.
Oh yeah?
Yeah, if I had to live on it, I'd be dead by now. But,
okay.
in a fit of passion, I wrote about being a better dad.
Oh, nice. Jeez. Well, you've had lots of practice.
Yeah. Thanks for catching that. Just 9 kids and 11 grandkids.
That's nuts. Why?
Yeah.
How? Why?
It's a long story. It's a long story. I'll tell you it really fast. My mom raised me as an only child in San Diego. And my dad was absentee. They were alcoholics. And he came back sober in 73 and kind of made me part of his world. And he sold insurance on Camp Pendleton, life insurance to Marines, if you can imagine.
Oh, wow.
Go figure, do that math. And he was really quite good at it because he loved the military. And so came to Humboldt, met Joni, met Jesus, met sobriety, and met a degree at Humboldt.
Now, is that how you got hooked up with the Tri-City Weekly? Did you go back to the Durkin days and that?
Not directly. I was kind of a Durkin cousin, if you will. So those guys were all Lighthouse Ranch out at the Table Bluff, and then down at California and Cedar, the old Gospel Outreach, which is now Calvary Chapel, Eureka. And I worked for guys that were part of that, but they weren't directly. So the Tri-City came out of that as an organic job situation for the cult out on the bluff.
Oh, cult.
Yeah, some people would call
strong
it.
words.
It's too strong. They're not a cult. They're lovely, and they actually have another permeation called Gospel Outreach over on by Redwood Acres.
Yeah.
But I digress. So bottom line is 10 guys took it over, 2 guys bought them out. And my dad always called Ron Pileggi a prince of a man. He took knuckleheads like me and turned me into a good sales guy in Arcata for 15 years. I sold all the ads and competed with Y'all and David Reed from the Times Standard. Hi, David. And made a living for 11 of us, which is unusual in one income in Humboldt.
It is.
I could have had 9 homes or 9 kids.
I don't know. Yeah.
Chose the kids. Sometimes I wonder about my choices, but
I don't know if you could pull that off in this day and age. That's pretty
be tough. And I have a shout out to Joni Hammond. I have a lovely wife who I'm like you, likely I married up, and we were quite blessed and amazingly. I was going to say lucky, but I don't believe in luck, so I won't use that word. Anyway, so yeah, in the day, Tri-City was a lot of fun. It was purely ads and classifieds and home delivered and done by the kids from HCAR. Used to be the Humboldt County Association of the Retarded, which we don't use the R word anymore, and now it stands for something else. But they were the most faithful, wonderful, loving delivery kids in the world, and Ron made sure of it as the prince of a guy that my dad called him. He made sure all these guys had jobs. And the Times Standard just shut that all down just recently.
Yes.
Yeah.
Tri-City is no more.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was that was something else because it was always, the Tri-City had gone through like a couple of iterations, had been a couple of different things just throughout my Humboldt County experience. And then
I would say arguably the Tri-City went away in about 2016 maybe, or even earlier when I transitioned over to in 2004, it was starting to go bye-bye, and the Times Standard picked it up. Yeah. Media News and Dean Singleton for a song. Yeah. Maybe not. It was pretty money. So bottom line is they took it and divested. It crashed it. And they used it as a wrap for Safeway. Yeah. Anyway. Yeah. Why am I talking all about me? I
don't know. I like these stories.
So, there's a little background. So how did you transition over to Patrick Cleary and K-Hum and Lost Coast Outpost and how did you spawn that? Because one might argue it's kind of a brilliant early move into digital.
Yeah, well, the time felt right. Just as far as that goes, yeah. I mean, personally too, I think that has done everything I was going to do with the journal. Okay. It's the time felt right, sort of nationally, to just at the state of media that it had reached a point where you could plausibly make from the ground up a digital only product. And when working for Lost Coast Communications, where they already had salespeople, they would have something else to sell, like a news product. So it started off kind of small, just myself, and we took the bet that it was the right time to strike, and we could shed ourselves. Of all the things that you used to need to be like a sort of text-based news operation.
A printing press. Or
printing, exactly.
Or kids on bikes.
Yeah, exactly. And so, because everybody has like the delivery system and the printing press in their pocket. Yeah.
Brought mine with me.
Yeah, exactly.
So it was time, and you were, I think the radio stations were on their top of their game about that time too. They were doing very well, right? And remember that K-Hum was like the talk of the town, and Cliff and everybody were just rocking the world and the free world. And so, and then Patrick said, and Patrick's a forward thinker, and he probably said, hey, who's this Hank guy?
Oh, yeah. Well, I'd known Patrick a little bit from reporting, just from being around town, because he'd always, he's always a little bit of a mover and a shaker. Sure. Yeah.
Lovely guy. I like Pat.
Yeah.
So he wrote you a really large check and said, come on board?
No, we started off bare bones, and I'm happy with that, because
I love it.
We wanted to build a profitable thing from the beginning. And so it's just me and a computer and some space on a server farm in Fremont, and we just saw what we could build, and we grew from there, always trying to stay something close to break even.
So the server was in Fremont, or you were?
No, just the machine that when you go to lostcoastoutpost.com on your phone, it's a machine in Fremont that gets that request, and answers,
Oh, that's funny.
Yeah.
So was this by the time we had what's it called when you have a second internet line out? We had a dual internet to Reading.
Oh yeah, the
redundant system.
Redundant fiber. Yeah.
Would have been about that time, right?
It was actually. It was about the time. Yeah.
And fiber got quicker, and Suddenlink kind of. I don't know if you're on a Suddenlink server. Probably not.
Yeah. No. No. The server is. Yeah, it's just like in a server farm that you just rent space from.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Gotcha. And then you sort of built on this local idea.
Yeah, and we added new people, added new things, added new features, and it's still constantly sort of changing. It's going to be it's changing a lot now because we for a while our office was in Eureka, and the radio stations, Lost Coast Communications, the radio stations were in Ferndale, and now we're all moved in together.
One big happy family.
Yeah, and we're figuring out cool things to do.
Has anybody been in any fights yet or throwing things?
Not yet. No.
The siblings are doing fine.
Yeah, no, it's good. Yeah, it's exciting.
I like it. So, question on this level: what if I were to ask you in a couple of minutes? And I'm just a dumb guy that's tuning in. What is a loco? I mean, what is a digital newspaper? What's your business prop? What's your theory? Slogan? What's your campaign statement here?
Yeah, I mean,
what is it?
I've got a couple of slogans. We've always been Humboldt County's homepage for a long time. That was the theory.
That's cool.
And when challenged a while ago to make up a little bit more of a mission statement, I think I sort of came up with like the mission of the Lost Coast Outpost is by, for, and about Humboldt County. We chronicle its days, we interrogate its flaws, and we celebrate its something. It's victories. It's beauty.
I like that.
Yeah,
that's strong. So you're kind of an archivist in a way. You're archival by nature,
for sure. The journalism, newspapers and news has always been about that. Just getting on record and telling people about what's going on and preserving it. Yeah,
and finding the good stories.
Yeah, for sure.
And not recycling the other guys.
We try not to. Yeah, we try to do original work, for sure.
Sure. Well, and when you think of it, I think Time Standard, debatably or not, has content. Journal still creates content, and y'all.
Yeah.
And so pretty soon, that's a lot of content for a small market.
Oh,
right?
And there's lots more than that too. It's a really rich media space.
Yeah, and so the concern that I've read about is that all these guys co-opt, Zuckerberg or whomever will co-opt that content and use it on a more regional or national, international basis.
Yeah, I mean that happens to some extent.
That's the deal today, right?
Yeah, a little bit. I mean, we have we have a Facebook page, just to address that, and we have 106,000 Facebook fans or something like that.
Wow.
People who follow us on Facebook. So in some sense, we are providing Zuckerberg, Facebook, Google with stuff, we're one small drop in a very, very large ocean, but all of us together and, people posting pics of their kids are, making this business model for Zuckerberg. On the other hand, I mean, we work within that ecosystem. We get a lot out of it too.
Yeah.
We get, people coming to our website from Google News, from
get new hits and
sources.
New followers. And
yeah. I mean, I think that we're lucky in that we, the Lost Coast Outpost itself has been able to sort of like transcend what a lot of people, depend on, like social media for people discovering their website. And I think because we started early, and I think because Humboldt County is such a inward facing place in some ways, that people come to our website, whether or not they see something in their Facebook. People wake up in the morning and type in their URL, our URL, into their web browsers, and we get, a great deal of traffic that way.
Which is the ideal.
Yeah.
Well, it was the whole idea from the get-go.
For sure. And we have lots of other things too. We can send push notifications to people's phones when a new story is posted, or we just reach out in lots of ways.
Yeah. I mean, you're on my screen now, but it took Patrick to do it for me. Thanks. Again, hello, Patrick. Is there a reason is there an app now?
There's no app. And
is there a reason for that?
There's the reason is, and maybe this is something we'll pursue at some point, but it's
no one's ever asked that, right?
Yeah, no, they have. It's costly, and then you are sort of dependent on Google and Apple, like distributing it, and they're working within their ecosystem rather than the open web, which is just much. It's easier to do what you want to do, I guess, and it's much cheaper too.
Right.
But everything that you want, you can, Patrick got you the app on your phone.
Wasn't that hard?
Yeah, it's not that hard. And maybe we should highlight instructions for that again. We do that from time to time.
I'm old. I don't know why I couldn't get it. I'm pretty good at it on a computer. But.
Yeah. So, once you get it saved to your phone, it should be easy for most people, just like save to phone.
Sure. And it's fast.
And you can get notifications like you would on any other kind of app. So but yeah, I don't know. It is nice to be in the App Store, I suppose, but it's a big investment, and
it's the next step.
The payoff is not exactly clear, except that much easier for people.
So what are you talk metrics for a minute? How many unique users and you get far and away the biggest website in the county, right?
I think so. Yeah.
Certainly I can't think of another media outlet. And who else would have a bigger traffic count?
Probably no one. I mean, probably we're the biggest. Yeah.
Maybe in the North State, I would think. I don't know if the Reading Searchlight has any.
Well, see, the problem with that, the Time Standard and the Searchlight and those kind of things, they're behind paywalls. So so that's going to hurt your traffic,
Big time.
Yeah.
People get frustrated. I have 80 ads to read a half an article.
Yeah. And we try to keep that stuff simple too. But yeah, so we have usually like 350,000 what they call unique visitors a month. And
that's pretty good metrics, right? I mean, by anybody's standard.
I think so. Yeah.
Nationally or regionally.
Yeah, it's pretty good. Yeah, definitely. And and about 3.5 million paid, what they call page views, so people look at a page on the website, that's a page view. So, with that kind of, we're able to build, advertising can be real cheap, because you can buy just, a small portion of that audience because the audience is so huge, you're reaching a huge number of people as an advertiser. This isn't my business, Scott, but but
you should know this.
I kind of have to know it.
You got to pitch it every once in a while.
Yeah,
so it's good to know.
No, yeah, I'm not pitching advertisers out there.
I love it though. I got to call Patrick as soon as we're done.
Yeah,
or my guy.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah, you can reach a lot of people really, pretty inexpensively, and so we think it's a good value.
Yeah, no, I agree. And I should agree so much I should put my money where my mouth is.
Hey, yeah.
I've been threatening.
Advertise the podcast.
Known Bobby Olson forever. And, and certainly Shane and others. So
cool.
So tell me more about your competitive position. It's driven by money.
Well,
I mean, it has to pay for itself.
Well, sure, it has to pay for itself. Yeah. But we're not, our editorial, we are, I really think it's still, is bifurcated. Like the news industry is a hard thing for some people to get their heads around because like people have different goals. Like my job as editor and, as all our writers' jobs, our job is to talk to the audience. We work for the readers.
Sure.
And then the salespeople say like, hey, look, they got this big audience. You want to get in front of them, like you can buy an advertisement. So it is kind of like a bifurcated, like a double mission, you know?
Unlike CNN or Fox News, which is creating talking heads to create audience, to create revenue.
Yeah, I guess so. I mean, I guess so. I mean, we could do, we know that we could do things differently and get a lot more page views, but they're just things that we don't want to do because we don't think that they're good for
for the reader, for the county.
They're not good for the county, and they're not good for our, like I say, we work for the readers, and it would be an easy thing to like hype up our readers and to make them afraid of every single thing. Oh my God, going on in the world.
Yeah. Is it okay if we talk about your troll readers real quick?
Sure.
I mean, it's like the nasty people that live in the back. It's so some of the trolls have been lack decorum.
Oh, sure.
Well, let me be really nice.
Well, yeah.
No, they're a-holes. So maybe that's better.
Yeah.
How do you view that as the editor? I mean, they're part of the community, and the cowards that they are, and some of them put their names on it. I get it.
Yeah.
So you can find them.
Well, I mean, on our page, like again, I was talking about this with Nick a few weeks ago, but like we don't really. On our page itself, we don't really get a lot of nasty comments anymore because we made the decision that we had to we just had to stop. It was getting too much for people. It was blowing their brains.
You're writing your own articles. That's what.
Yeah, I mean, and we'd like to hear feedback from people too.
Sure.
And I want intelligent, like
a thoughtful
challenge,
a thoughtful letter to the editor. Yeah,
yeah, I want all that stuff. I want insightful, like insights into my work. But the problem is too, if you is that people will hijack that sort of mechanism
and get vicious.
To get vicious. Sure. Yeah. I mean, I don't mind the viciousness so much. But so where that happens now is on social media. Like that's where people are really nasty. Like,
oh, geez.
And it's usually associated with their names. Like you're right. Yeah, people.
It's funny.
People are unleashed.
So would Pastor Bethany get vicious feedback?
Sometimes.
I mean, if you ever met her, she's like the most non-vicious.
Of course. Yeah.
Recipient earned it. You never. Yeah. So interesting. Yeah, they're part of the big happy family.
Yeah. 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 I guess so. I mean, they kind of. We used to be much closer to our readership. It was more of a conversation. And now it kind of can't be. And whether I think that's a function of two things, like us growing up and becoming bigger, and just the way that the country and the way that the internet itself has evolved.
The division of America and the world.
I think so.
Yeah.
I think that it drives people to distraction, I think.
It's like driving a car. I could be a real vicious mofo and give everybody the number one signal.
Yeah.
When I'm behind the wheel and be the nicest guy in the podcast.
Yeah.
Or get behind a computer and become a real troll.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's kind of a weird permission. Talk about bifurcation.
Yeah. Well, I often think that it's just that people get so wrapped up like sort of in national politics, like in right versus left, Democrat versus Republican.
Sure, we see it today.
And they get that it captures their imagination so much that they are just constantly have to be at war, and they expect me to take a side in that war.
Right.
They expect that war to consume all media.
You're just on the ground.
I just don't want any. I don't want any part of that war.
No, you can't.
Yeah. I just it's just boring to me.
Yeah.
I don't know. I just want to write about like the people. I just want to be for Humboldt, and Humboldt and
bigger
our
mission.
culture. I think it's bigger.
So it's kind of a Switzerland role to be kind of maintain a neutrality of sorts.
I guess, except I just don't want. I don't want to participate in it. I don't care about national politics in a professional sense. I want to tell the stories of people living in Humboldt County.
That's your mission,
yeah.
Back to the mission statement.
Yeah. But people, I think that trolls from either side, are usually people who are wrapped up in this, goal of like winning something, winning an election, winning, your side being victorious. I just don't care about that.
I've had my mind changed so many times by really good writing trolls.
Oh yeah,
no. No, they really persuaded me with their.
I don't know. I think
rhetoric,
like trolling, can sometimes be fun. It's just the.
Oh yeah, the provokers,
there's
provocateurs that are out there.
Sure, there's wit and there's irony and there's stuff you can.
So there's an art to trolling.
Sure,
okay.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay. No, there is.
I'd thought of that, but
it's just no, for sure, yeah.
Interesting.
Trolling strictly defined, maybe, Scott. Using wit and irony and stuff to make a point.
And I think back to your division theory, which is a real thread in this podcast. We've been divided now for 200 years, but a lot for the last 25 months or longer. It's really interesting to me. I think Jason, Bethany's husband, last night, he was in her home and we were in a group, and he said, a lot of people are just feeling chaotic.
Yeah.
And I thought, that's good. That's a good word. They're divided up inside on every side. Just like it's a time of change and some heavy chaos after the change of leadership. And I thought, and I wonder if that somehow reflects sometimes in the commentary.
Yeah, I mean, I think so. I mean, we've kind of set it our mission, to or we've talked about like sort of like really being good about ignoring taking the bait on any of this. We want to write about things happening here, and sometimes things happening here are going to be affected by things happening out there. Mm-hmm. But but it would be so easy and and so sad to take up arms and and I just don't want to do that. Right. I just think that it
would be a devaluation of the product.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
I like that. Yeah. So we got some good stories about some of your writing and some of the adventures of Loco, and anything come to mind in terms of something like that really, this one guy came in the studio with no clothes, or any sort of like one-off outlier stories that maybe,
I don't know,
wrote award-winning stuff?
Oh yeah.
Pulitzer Prize?
We've done, well, not a Pulitzer Prize yet, but yeah, no, we've done lots of great work. My colleague, Brian Burns, has been just a really long-time investigative reporter in Humboldt County and has done it for 12 years or 15 years at the Journal and for us. Mm-hmm. And I think he still produces the best, most impactful work on the North Coast. Yeah. And he's been recognized for that. And for a couple of years ago, I won an award for the stuff I did on redistricting in Humboldt County. Okay. Because I'm good with like numbers and stuff and maps.
You have to be connected too to get all as a reporter, I can only imagine you got to have connections. And sources and relationships.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
Yeah. And pretty important.
Yeah. And I'm proud of that too. Like our reporting staff. And so Izzy Vanderheiden, who writes for us, has worked for the Time Standard and K-Mud and has been up here for 10 years. Our people are, we have one guy, a really good writer, Desmond Remington, who just came out of Humboldt State Journalism School, and he's starting.
Nice.
Cal Poly Humboldt Journalism School.
Cal Poly Humboldt.
Thank you, Scott. But I think that that's just real important to me too. That we pay people well and we do important work. Yeah, and all of our writers try to do important work. Yeah,
well-informed community is a good thing.
I think so. Yeah, it's hard. Yeah, people are reading less and less, and so we have to find other ways to reach people as well. Some things you can't do, but in
what do they call that? Death scrolling through.
Yeah.
I'm death scrolling at pictures.
Yeah.
Look, it's another thing.
Yeah, right. Exactly.
Yeah, so weird. Wow. So Patrick mentioned that you became really adroit. I've been waiting all day to use that word.
Oh, yeah.
Got that at Cal Poly. $2 word. You become really good at pulling in sources and electronically pulling in other feeds like the Elsewhere section.
Sure.
I'd like to hear about that, but I'd also like to hear about how you kind of based the foundation of the product. So you started with a homepage. Started with booked, all the cop stuff. And the obit page is unparalleled.
Oh, thank you. Yeah.
How did it all build? How did you build it out, and what was your process? And what came first? News, right?
Yeah, news. News, and it was much more blog-like in the beginning, because it was just me, and there was only and the radio people. So it was much simpler, and this has grown piece by piece and person by person over time. So I can remember when I made the case like, oh, we should publish obituaries, because it's one of the things that always made me so angry is that the newspapers would charge grieving families so much, or really a lot of money, to have their obituary run in the newspaper. When at the same time, people people bought the newspaper just for that. And it seemed to me as like sort of double dipping.
Take advantage.
Yeah, it's taking advantage of people in grief, and I know that people want to read those things. So we just say, we'll do them for free for people who are living in Humboldt County.
But you have to live here.
Yeah. That gets going on. But
that's fair, though. I mean, otherwise you'd have a million obits.
We have,
got to sort them somehow.
Yeah, that's correct.
Isn't there a rule that you had to live here did you have to die here?
I say that you have to have been living here at the time of your passing, or that you will be interred with some sort of public services here.
So you have some discretion.
I don't know. I try not to have discretion because I don't want to tell grieving families like, nah, I don't want your guys' obit.
Correct.
I just want to have objective as rules as I can get, and that I can objectively verify.
Still keep it local.
So if you're being buried at Greenwood Cemetery and you're going to have services, then I figure that's Humboldt enough that people will want to know about it, that local people will want to know about it.
Greenwood Cemetery, right here on my prop map. Right over there in Arcata. You see where Arcata sits? Right? Yeah, it's at my. Yeah. Just wanted you to notice the map.
Yeah.
What a cool map. This Metzger's map, by the way.
Yeah, it's cool.
I'm selling these. No, I'm kidding. I don't sell maps. Ellis Art does, though, and this is the best deal they have in the whole store. And it's cool. If you're a local and you got one of these maps, you could sit there and stand and stare at that stuff and go, oh, Hammond Lumber. I knew where that. Oh, that's my great-great-grandpa.
Yeah.
Just kidding. No relation. So, no, I appreciate that. So the build-out happened. News is the foundation.
Yeah. And
then it got more localized and
well, it's always been localized, but we just new features. We try new things. We do like nowadays we usually do like a daily poll. To end the day. My theory is you always start the day smart and end the day dumb. So you end on the poll, which is just easy. So, but we've been
theory.
Yeah,
I'm experiencing that right now.
No, so we've done a bunch of different things. Some things we used to do and stopped doing. We just keep trying to do new, interesting things as far as just like the editorial product.
Sure.
What you're talking about with the bringing in other sources. Well, basically, what. In the old days, newspapers, people had a tip sheet, right? They'd go down to the courthouse in the morning and see who's been arrested.
Sure.
Or they'd, keep the scanner on in their ears and like listen for a car crash or something.
Watch the fax machine there.
Yeah.
Stories are coming in.
Yeah. My whole idea really was to set, open source all of that so that everybody basically, all the stuff that's feeding into us is also just, fed out to the public. Usually, and that's usually government sources of information. So, we scrape lots of websites, lots of government websites, to bring in, something like, a power outage, when there's a power outage, it goes up on our site, a big power outage. If there's a big earthquake, it goes up on our site.
You guys are kind of an emergency sort of go-to something.
Yeah, we try to be.
Right?
Yeah, we try to be. Sure.
It has a name, right?
No, I don't know.
If there's a disaster, there's some reporting, there's some current data on the website.
Oh yeah. I mean, we try to do that.
Ferndale's flooding. It's really the river's getting up there.
Yeah. So a lot, or if there's like a big sewage spill, or lots of different kinds of things, government information coming into the website at all times, or the agenda for next week's supervisors meeting or something.
Perfect. Yeah.
So we try to just bring in that automatically, and then it makes this easier for us, and then we can take that as sort of like raw material that is still available to everybody. We can like use, it's a tip where maybe we will write a story on this, or maybe, if we see there's a bad car crash on 101 in the safety corridor, maybe we want to follow that and see if it's, if they close the road down, we can write on top of that sort of information that's coming in. Yeah.
It creates, not content for content's sake, but
it's
piggyback. It might be a whole long story.
It might, it might end up being
16 days of flooding. Or whatever we had,
giant earthquake, or something,
another windstorm.
Yeah.
That's why this weather's been so magical. It's like
it's very nice.
We got a little break from all that fun.
Yeah.
Crazy. So you got Elsewhere, which is guys like Nick and I on our podcast and a variety of other sources, right? Time Standard even.
Time Standard, sure.
I love that. I love the fact that, hey, bring it in.
Yeah, that's what I said. We want to be, the hub. We want to be Humboldt County's homepage, if something's happening in Humboldt, or if you're just bored and wondering what's going on in Humboldt County today, because a lot of people like to know about Humboldt County who live here.
Yeah. Who went to jail in Arcata?
Yeah.
Okay, that's booked. And so what is Gizmos?
That's basically just sort of like automated features, like looking at the California Highway Patrol feed, or Eureka, Fortuna, Arcata, the Humboldt County Sheriff's Office, their police departments all feed their incidents into this basically unusable section of a website somewhere. So we take that and bring it in and make sense of it, a little bit of sense of it, and so you can follow that as it happens.
So some people have a lot of time to read.
Sure.
More than others.
Or they want to know, they see something going on and they wonder what it was, and they know that they'll get, some information at least on the Lost Coast Outpost.
Right. You can do a search. Is the search engine pretty robust?
No, it's pretty bad, actually.
Is it really?
Yeah, the search engine.
It's cool that you would admit that.
Yeah, search
engines on this part.
Search engines are a tricky problem for a lot of reasons, but you can, if you know where to click, then you can probably
find it.
Yeah.
What else? What other sections am I missing? News, booked, obits is.
Yeah, there's the lowdown. There's the calendar of events.
Yeah.
So it's like stuff going on in town that you can go to.
Is that pretty robust? Is that fed like voluntarily, like by Mad River Brewery?
Yeah, people put their own events up there, and
do they have to do it themselves, or do you scrape it?
We ask them to do it themselves. Yeah, and they do. Sometimes
free advertising.
Sometimes we fill in. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So there's that. There's other sections like the Humboldt Handy that we launched as the director of like contractors and stuff. That's kind of that's kind of an advertising feature, but it's powered by the same kind of like data that you find elsewhere.
Right. Is that a paid for section?
Well, it's a complete list, but you can a contractor can pay to have their business promoted.
The drywaller guy.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Or and post some pictures of their work or something like that. They can do that. We have a classified ad section. We have. I'm trying to think. There's
the classified pretty affordable.
Oh, it's very affordable. $1 a day. Yeah.
$1 a day.
Yeah.
$1 a holler. What?
Yeah.
So hey, part of our show where we start to have some fun and you can earn.
Oh no!
Probably give you one anyway.
Oh no!
A black fig. Whoa! Let me tip everything over. Hey, I got this together. The black fig, Dick Taylor.
Okay.
Madagascar.
Let's see what I can do.
Are you a chocolate guy? Do you like?
Hell yeah, sure.
You're probably married to somebody that likes chocolate.
Yeah, all of the above.
Hell yeah. Okay, good deal. I want to leave that right there, so you got to earn this. Here
okay. Oh no.
Question number 1: Hank Sims for $5 and a Dick Taylor bar. What do you like about Humboldt County?
Well, I like
top three things.
Top 3 things. Oh, well. I mean, I like the culture, the people. I like the architecture, and I like the natural environment. I like the rain.
Wow. Yeah. So you're a rain guy.
Well, I mean, I won't say that now. Now I'm sick of it to be done, but I like living in a wet place rather than a dry place.
You poli-sci guy. My son's the same way. He goes, it's raining in Amsterdam. I love it.
It's
32 degrees. It's dumping rain for the last 8 days. And he's happy.
I don't know if I like the rain, but I like it being wet and foresty rather than
clean.
Yeah.
Okay. Question number 2. Top 3 things you don't like about Humboldt. What do you not care for?
Sometimes, I mean, I say the people and the culture, which is a very insular, like inward-looking culture, but the downside of that is maybe the same, just like sort of insularity, like small-mindedness, maybe sometimes a sort of lack of awareness of what's going on in the outside world.
Not in my backyard, baby.
Yeah.
Wind power, forget it. That's too clean.
So those kind of things. Let's see what else.
Fish farm, no way. Come on. It's got to have a carbon footprint.
I think the things I like are the same as the things I don't like. Isn't that strange?
Okay. What's number 2?
The weather, the rain.
Man of paradox.
Yeah, it's true. I think, yeah. What else don't I like? The lack of
natural resources,
affordable lunches in downtown Eureka.
Oh, well.
Or cheap. I want it cheaper.
I got the hack for you. Can I give you the tip off here?
Please.
Don't tell anybody. If we told you, we'll have to kill you.
Okay.
So the salad at Lost Bagels.
Yeah. Oh, dude. Yes. No, I've been there.
It's a big salad.
It'd feed like 4 people. Yeah.
It's huge.
Yeah.
And you get a whole thing of larapin, which is worth $10.
Yeah. Yeah.
And ranch and their tofu, whatever you want, tahini.
Yeah.
$5.
Yeah. No, I've done this. It's crazy. Yes.
I did it yesterday. I had a huge meal. It was delicious.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. And if you're really, there's another way to hack that too, but I can't say that on the air.
Okay.
You're going, that's making it weird, man. Okay. So third question, you get a full paid day. Patrick's going to give you the day off with pay. And what's your itinerary? Who do you do it with, and where do you go?
Oh,
starting at 9 a.m. Where do you
start at 9 a.m.? I mean, I probably stay at home and read a book.
Nice.
Otherwise, maybe if you make me go outside somewhere, I like Malel Dunes. I like hiking Malel Dunes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Try that with the mosquitoes sometime in the summer.
Oh,
I mean, it's such a cool place. My wife is a hiker.
Yeah.
And so she's got all the secret spots, Malal and, 100 others. And somehow I got hijacked on Mother's Day as being a nice husband. She's not my mother. Mother to my 9 kids. That's fair. But the skeeters were awful.
Oh yeah.
Oh my God.
I've not come across this.
But it's like you're on another planet, and then you're looking back at the bay and the mountains, and you're going, where? This is 5 minutes from home.
Yeah.
10 minutes.
Yeah, it's a weird landscape too. It's a really pretty landscape.
The dune environment is
dune forest
biome is super cool.
Yeah.
We like to go up to up by Larapin. We like to go up by Larapin, up to Camel Rock on Scenic Drive there. Mm-hmm. And park there and picnic. It's gorgeous.
Okay. That's nice.
Just a magical experience. Okay, bonus question number 4 for all the marbles.
Okay. I know what this is going to be.
This is going to be a tough. I'm trying to come up with their toughest question. I'll lob you a softball. Where do you go for dinner?
Dinner? Yeah. My favorite places for dinner?
Yeah, top 3.
Top 3. I like Larapin, of course. I like Annie's Cambodian.
Oh, I haven't ate there for a while.
Oh, it's good. And let's see. To go out to a nice dinner. I like the Sea Girl. I haven't been there in a while, but I like it.
Sea Girl's apparently it's killer. I haven't eaten there in years.
Yeah.
They used to have the best salad bar maybe in the world.
Yeah, the world's done away with salad bars though. They don't like them.
I know. COVID killed a lot of things, including salad bars.
Yeah.
Yeah, doggone it. Where's Annie's now? Are they still up on are they up on 5th? Still like where they were up by
No, they're up they're in Henderson Center.
They moved.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Nice spot in Henderson Center.
There's a lot of good places at Henderson Center.
Yeah.
Diver.
Yeah.
We ate there. It's decent.
Yeah. I haven't been there in a while, but yeah.
Well, hey, congratulations. You have you're now the recipient of a Dick Taylor.
I'll take it.
Chocolate bar.
Yeah. Thank you.
You know what's
very
cool?
Nice.
The coolest thing that I learned about Dick Taylor, besides I always get a nice chocolate buzz when I drink their chocolate or eat it, is it's low calorie.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, the whole bar is like 100 calories.
Well, and I remember
maybe $1.20.
I remember when like nice chocolate came into fashion, and people say like, "Oh, you only eat like a tiny little corner of it," and I thought, "Oh, you're insane." But then I realized, no, that's all you need. It's like
you don't want to sit there and chew it like a Hershey's.
Yeah.
And it pairs a lot with a lot of different drinks and other foods and fruits. It's pretty diverse, and lucky to have those guys down there.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, they may have food at one point coming up.
They do. They what? Oh, you're gonna have them here?
No. I interviewed Adam Dick early on, but they may be having some sort of food associated with there at some point. Hey, hot flash! You didn't hear it here. Don't tell anybody who'd have to kill you. So
nice.
Yeah. It's always fun going there. And so I don't know, parting shots. It says you're a journalist, editor, mentor. You've inspired a new generation of reporters to pursue truth and integrity in their work.
This is what you got the AI to generate about
AI.
me.
I mean, AI loves you.
AI loves everybody. When
it loves he's amazing. No, but I kind of get that sense that you mentored a few of these guys and gals, and
sort of maybe they mentor me as much as I mentor them.
I like that.
Yeah,
so it should be.
Maybe. Yeah.
It's mutual. It's a mutual mentor mentee.
Sure.
The question is who's doing what at when.
No, it's all the time. No, I don't. I don't believe any of that stuff that the AI said about me. But
no, it's kind of flattering. Yeah, I think I like this vital role of local journalism, fostering an informed and engaged community.
I mean, that's important to me.
It's pretty generic, but it's true.
Yeah.
AI's got generic truth.
It knows how to butter you up. Yeah.
He's amazing. He's a hero, and he's that guy. No, I really appreciate you being here. Any other parting shots, questions, comments? Any other comments on where we're going? Where would you like to see Humboldt go in the next 5-10 years?
I mean, I don't know. I would like. I don't know. I guess I don't have that much of an opinion. I mean, I would like to see it be vibrant and continue to flourish.
What does that mean for you?
Yeah, well, exactly. That's going to mean different things for different people.
Sure.
But I mean, I guess I would like to see. There's for a long time. There's been, I don't know. There's always been a pall hanging over Humboldt a little bit.
There's something,
yeah.
It's
People. Somebody in the board of supervisors meeting said the other day that what does Humboldt have to do to promote itself? It has to get over its sort of its insecurity problems. And I think that's true. People
like that.
People always like to bitch about every place they live, anybody, anywhere. But
sure.
it seems like people here take it a little bit more seriously, the bitching, and they're really bummed out.
It's a little bit more personal.
And I think they have to, and there's lots of real challenges in life for everybody, and for
anywhere you
more
live.
than most. Yeah, but you gotta take.
I like that.
Get easy.
That's a hard truth, but I really like your comment because it's like, oh, it's us and we're ER and it just sucks.
Yeah.
And I mean, my parents and my cousin, and it's like, dude, get over it and let's move forward.
Yeah, sure.
You're going to have challenges. San Diego or LA fires or New York.
For sure.
I don't know, wherever you're living, you're going to have some crap in your life.
Yeah, and this is a hard place to, it's an expensive place for a lot of people to live. There are way more expensive places for people to live, and there's cheaper places where you wouldn't want to live, maybe.
Great point. Yeah. Cost of living's high.
Yeah.
And wages are markedly, we could probably say not the highest in the nation or the state.
For sure.
So there's that.
Yeah.
It kind of begs gas pricing in terms of discussion. Do you have any theories on why gas might be $5 and it's $3 in Medford?
Yeah, people have gone up and down through this all over. Medford is a thing. I mean, taxes and also I think the gasoline formulation in different states. There's rules about that.
Yeah.
I don't know.
That's funny.
It has been something of a monopoly in the past.
Sure.
And, it's not as much of a monopoly now as far as the supply of gasoline.
We still barge it in a lot.
We still barge it in, and I don't know why we have to do that exactly. But
get a lot of it in the Bay at one fell swoop.
It is crazy. You get down to when I go visit my mom in Willits and seeing it's $1 cheaper in Willits than it is in here. It doesn't make
before you go, let's talk about Willits. Real quick.
Yeah.
What's up, Willits? Hey, question: has the bypass hurt downtown?
I don't think so.
I haven't been there once since the bypass came in, and I really love the bypass.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong. I don't want to really. I want to get to Fresno.
I mean, the thing is, the thing is, the bypass came in probably about the same time as the sort of crash of the weed industry.
Correct.
So it's a little bit hard to distinguish one from the other. But there's still Willits is a pretty lively place still. And if you stop, there's really great restaurants to stop at. There's a good place.
Got a lot of shops.
Got a lot of shops.
Is that bakery, Landmark Bakery? Is that still there?
I don't know. No,
is that the name of
there's
it?
Something. Yeah, it was. That's a good memory, but that's been gone for a while. I think there's something else there now.
That was delicious.
Yeah, it's great.
Yeah. Yeah, I always like Willits. Got a good vibe.
It's a cool town. It's like the first town of the North Coast, I think. Driving up.
Yeah, and a little bit of history there.
It's like a Garberville, but a little bit bigger.
Yeah, and you went to Willits High?
Yeah.
With the pool in the front?
Yes. I was a Willits Otter myself.
An otter? They're the Otters?
The swim team, yeah.
Oh, did you swim?
I did. Well, I still know how to swim, but I
Can you swim?
Yes.
You?
I did. I was for a while.
I float a lot.
Swim team. Yeah.
I played water polo.
Oh, really?
Oh, man. I was most improved player.
Nice.
Had long hair and all that in a bag of chips. And then later, what happened?
I don't know.
Life
it happens to us all, Scott.
Yeah. Life, kids, drugs, the whole thing. It all happened. Well, Hank, really honored to have you and appreciate your kindness to be here. And I'm going to do my sign up. Before I do that, parting shots, how do we find Loco, just generally speaking?
LostCoastOutpost.com, baby.
Okay.
Just type it right into your search. Go to Google. Go to your browser. Pull up google.com.
Okay.
Type in Lost Coast Outpost. Hit enter, and then click on the first thing that comes up. That's going to be it.
Okay. And that'll get you, and then just favorite that thing.
Favorite it. Bookmark it. Yeah.
And read it once in a while.
Follow it. Read it. Yes.
Utilize the advertisers.
Utilize it for sure. Spend lots of money.
Why not? Would Loco be findable there? I mean, if you typed in Loco, you'd probably come up with
there's probably a billion things.
Another thing.
Yes, probably.
Yeah, I got you. Well, thanks for being here. Appreciate you.
It's a pleasure. Thank you, Scott.
Yeah, thank you. Hey, I'm closing the show. Thanks everybody for being here. And Scott Hammond, 100% Humboldt. Super easy to find us and subscribe to us. Kind of similar way.
Yeah.
And we're going to optimize that baby up a little bit because this 100%, the number with a percent sign and Humboldt, a little tough to search, but we're getting better.
It's you can do it.
It's on YouTube. It's on all the podcast platforms. And repost, share, subscribe, make some nice comments, you trolls. And thanks to everybody that backs our play here. Scott Hammond, State Farm. Oops. 100% Humboldt. I've never said that. Wow. Can you edit that? Signing off. Have a great day. Thanks again, Hank.
You too, Scott. Thank you.